Where do you expect the situation to go in the Ukraine if the West reduces its assistance to the Ukrainian government?
Well, the only thing stopping a negotiated settlement to this war is the fact that President Biden is continuing to insist on giving advanced weapons to the Ukrainian forces. Let's face it, what you have in Russia is great strategic depth, industrial capacity, and the like. They may not have deployed it as effectively as, say, the West could have done. The West is not doing a good job itself these days either. But let's face it, Russia does have that great wealth. Its currency is one of the most stable in the world, largely because it's got the biggest gold reserves in the world. They're getting ready to create this new BRICS currency, which will start to break the monopoly of the US dollar as the trading instrument. And what we've seen, and I think I sent you a report that we produced on this, is that Russia has now finally been able to achieve its great north-south corridor going through Iran. Now, this was always the object of the Great Game, which was run from the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries between Great Britain out of British India and the Imperial Russian and then the Soviet governments. Russia and then later the Soviet Union wanted direct access overland to the Indian Ocean, a warm water port, so that they would have year-round access to naval and marine trade activities. Now they have it because Jimmy Carter made sure that the West lost its favored status with Iran, and Iran was taken over by the clerics who have done no favors for Iran. But now those clerics, in order to survive, have sold their souls to the Russian Federation. And so you've got this new maritime and road and rail transit link, which goes from St. Petersburg up on the Baltic down through the river systems with large ships. I mean, we're talking about 500-foot ships going down to Moscow, then down to the Caspian Sea and across the Caspian, and also down through Dagestan and Azerbaijan to Iran, where they're just building massive new rail links funded largely by Russia, down to the Iranian ports at the Straits of Hormuz, and I would say potentially just to the east of the Straits of Hormuz, where I believe we will start to see a new Russian naval base built on the Indian Ocean, much like the Russian naval base in Tartus in Syria in the Mediterranean.
So you're describing you're describing a Russia increasing in strength. Where will the succession go? One day Putin will no longer be leader at some stage. How will he be succeeded? What will determine the succession?
Well, that's always the problem when you have a situation where you don't dare to build in a succession base. And you have that even more the case in the People's Republic of China, where Xi Jinping absolutely destroyed all of his opponents so that there is nobody to question him, nobody to succeed him. The goal there is that that he can make all the decisions. Of course, that makes the world very vulnerable to a man who can make critical decisions without any accountability.